I need a few more seconds here real quick.
Okay, so that should have been die talking. Um, my audio didn't get recorded when I did this for some reason, so I'm having to do an overlay. So I'm trying not to mess up whenever anybody else speaks on top of it. But here's what's going on. Right now, the main boss is over there. We're going to be running a secondary medic role for this instance, which is pretty common. Okay, sorry, just making sure everything's getting lined up again. Not going all crazy on me here. Okay, so our job is to just stay back here with the group and heal while they take out the side guys who are on the white here, the cultist. We're just going to heal and support the main tank if needed. There's going to be a primary healer on him following, so it shouldn't be that difficult, this one. To make sure all of our stuff is equipped, our proper gear. Equipping the striker set to get buffs. There goes the group buffs. Make sure you have all your food and your pups on for this instance for sure. This is the most difficult instance as a medic. That's why we're only doing the secondary medic role this time.
Yep, I'm starting right now. I'll just do a typing voiceover afterwards.
And unfortunately, I forgot what they're saying during these parts, but I'm just have to guess and see what they're talking about. It's kind of hard to see the video screen. It's kind of small, surprisingly, for this video editor. Okay. Looks like our bitch is getting ready to go right now. Rigger's targeting the main guy. He's on him.
Okay, starting.
We're just going to make sure we have no... we're trying to not heal the first boss, or heal the tank for a little
So
bit.
at the beginning here, all we're doing is one medic is healing the group and the other medic's healing the main tank. The main tank medic will be following the main tank and just trying to keep heals on him. We split the group up that way. The green dots that keep spawning on the ground does not take and actually go to the main group as long as they're not getting in contact with the open hand of hate.
Okay, right there you can actually see what he was talking about there. I was pointing at the green stuff that comes out from the ceiling. That stuff starts spamming at your feet if you get in combat with the main guy. As a medic, even if you don't shoot him, you can still get in combat with him by healing somebody who is in combat with him, and that'll start the stuff spamming toward you. So I try not to heal the main tank for as long as possible, just to prevent the group back here from getting hit by the AoEs too. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and you can go ahead and jump in there if needed.
For this fight, as this medic, it's helpful to just kind of remain in the middle. That way you can also AoE heal the rest of the group.
So right now, the main boss is getting stronger because more of these cultists are dying, so he's going to get a little bit tougher to heal.
Do y'all hear the Whistler? Now it sounds like it's a modified version of the slug thrower.
Alright, just dodging the green stuff here. Nothing too special. I am currently getting targeted by the green stuff because I have healed him, so you'll see that I'll be constantly moving around to avoid it, where it shoots it at my feet where I was. Like that.
For this phase, I like to mainly use Banter Amplitude for the heal, and whenever I need a good heal, I hit the Bacter Spray to give both myself and the main tank a heal at the same time.
We've got one cultist left, Big Ol.
That's basically the call to start to get ready for phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be a lot more healing intensive. In that, as we take and damage him, if he puts a debuff on a player, it'll actually share the damage with the rest of the group. To have the debuff as well.
All right, he's down.
At this phase, the tank's going to run him around the room.
Make sure you guys are doing auto attacks only. Watch everybody's health.
Okay, so on this part, we're officially on the first primary boss. What's gonna happen is he's gonna apply that one debuff right there. It looks like the position secured for the commandos, like the 3 men standing there with the blue. What's gonna happen is whatever the group does damage, it's gonna be
Slow down,
shared with
guys.
the person who has the debuff.
Stop attacking.
So we just got to make sure that anybody who has a debuff is getting healed pronto. Especially call out if the tank has the debuff.
All right, start slow.
Yeah, like I had to stasis myself there. I had the debuff and I still do.
Slow down.
Looks like the tank still has the debuff also. I believe it's Rigor here. Yeah, Rigor. He's
Can that
constantly
debuff be
spamming heals
purged?
on him. If he goes down, it gets pretty messy pretty quick, so we'll tell the group to slow down if anybody starts getting hurt too bad. Whoa.
The debuff, that's the 3 dudes standing there, right?
Hold DPS, please. Same.
Nice and slow here. I mean, just taking our time doing this one. Usually gets in a lot faster, but you know, there's nothing wrong with just taking it slow. When you start rushing things, that some people get 86'd, and that's defeats the whole purpose of being in here. Yeah, this one's a little tough because everybody's running around in circles, so you might actually end up catching somebody else's green spam at some point, so you just gotta watch out for that a little bit. The toughest part is like staying coordinated with where you actually are, like running in circles, avoiding all the green stuff, and then also healing and looking at the sidebars there. That's why we always normally run with 2 medics, but it is possible solo medic, but for this video, this is just beginner medic stuff, so we're not going to do that today.
I'm in stasis, don't worry about me.
Looks like he's about to go down soon here. It's normal for people to try to burst at the end there.
Oh, stasis.
You just gotta watch out and take it slow.
Good job.
Good job.
Alright, so I'll wait for Dai to finish up here. I think he's the one that's gonna be talking, and I'll continue on when he's done.
These ads here are very weak, but we're ready to move into another small mini boss coming up here. And he actually spawns in right where I'm standing. And for this one, if you have stasis, you want to stasis mother. Like I just did there. And they're actually kill the bat first then, and then they're proceed to kill mother after the bat's dead. And then they finish off with the Minder of Weak Wills.
reminder here. It's the easiest boss in the whole instance, to be honest. This small little corridor here, so nothing really to worry about. Just while they tank and spank, just keep healing. Not too much damage here.
This fight is not intensive at all as far as healing goes, so if you want, you can help out a little bit with the DPS. But remember, your primary job is to heal.
Exar slacking.
I am.
My action bar got down to 0. Backer.
Sorry, I'll try to do better.
So for this fight, we're actually going to take and keep on attacking the caretaker lost, but we're going to focus on the mobs that spawn in. They're the primary things to kill. We do that until all these caretaker protectors have been released and killed. For this, though, what I like to do is I like to stand on behind the actual group, because as I'm healing, the mobs that spawn in from the other side of the room will have to run through the group, at which point in time the commander's AoE will pick them up and I won't take as much damage.
Okay, so to add to that, I was saying, yeah, like we like to chill with the medics back here on this ledge because it kind of avoids the AoE damage that's down there. Also, when they gets pulled, like I was saying, they kind of run through the group, so they hit them before we get targeted. We tend to pull as medics real easy when we AoE heal, and this just kind of prevents that when we stand up here. We're still have line of sight on everything, which is very nice. We're still close enough to the group, so that's all good right there. What's going to happen is multiple things are going to be going on in this instance. There's a lot of different elements to this. We're going to want to make sure that we keep the tanks healed. That guy, or the chick actually, that's in the center, she'll be like using some kind of force drain ability on people. Would be hitting them for a pretty decent amount of damage, like 7k or something like that, unmitigated. So I have to watch out for that. And we're going to be worried about when the executioner goes live. That's the only time we'll assist in damage here, or we'll try to. Besides that, we should be pretty good.
I'm ready over here as well.
One thing to note also, keep an eye on AoE classes like officers. They tend to pull a lot of aggro here when CTP becomes active, so just watch them in commandos.
Yeah. For this fight, I like to keep on, click on the names and spanning back to amplitude. Except for when I see the group is tired, a bunch of them getting low, then I'll try to use the vector spread at the same time. In the emergencies, I reserve my vector bomb for.
I had just noticed that my pups were deactivated, so I went ahead and reactivated them again. This is one instance where you want to make sure that stuff is always up, that in your healing potency food.
As you see, there's an executioner down there by Rosa currently. That one there's going to have the primary attack once it's up. The reason being is he kills the prisoner that actually releases the caretakers that we were speaking about earlier. So if healing allows, even at that point, I will help with DPS. But for the most part, I'm just healing the entire fight.
10 seconds executioner. Well, more like 5 seconds.
Whenever we see that message pop up, it means it's about 10 seconds until the caretaker protector goes live. It also means that executioner is going to be shortly following. Just like that.
CPT's up.
Good deal.
So APT is the mobs I was talking about spawning. That can actually hit you pretty hard as a medic, which is why I'm standing up here. We say CPT, that way everyone can focus fire on the calming, then the pain, and then the tomb. It really doesn't matter what order you bring them down, as long as you take them down one at a time, and the group's focusing fire.
There you guys go. You can see the force drain ability being active. It hits for a lot of damage to anybody. You just kind of have to watch out for that.
You saw Tracer just ran out there and ran back in. Most of the time, you do not want to stay out in the middle, because if you do, you're going to get a debuff that makes you take on more electricity damage. We already killed one of the protectors, didn't we?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
10 seconds executioner.
execution should be going live soon. Another CTP.
CPT's up.
Executioner.
You saw there, I just took quite a bit of damage from having the CPT hit me. Luckily, I think the other medic was ready for the back to bomb. Now, if you look directly across me from where I'm at, you'll see a prisoner walking up the stairwell and going over to the next caretaker, as we talked about a little earlier. As soon as the prisoner gets there, after a 5-second delay, the caretaker goes live and someone has to pull them down. Once that's dead, which is the second caretaker protector, we actually cross sides. And that's done because the executioner will now start actually walking this way instead of walking the other way.
Alright, I'm actually going to come down here for this part of it, to stay closer to them. After this next two go down over here, there's two caretaker protectors. The executioner is going to come on this side instead of the other side, like how he was doing. So those two are going to be up.
CPT's up.
Executioner.
I got stasis.
Yeah, sorry, X-Men had to prioritize comms on that one.
What you'll have to watch out for here is when people are tanking CTP, if the main boss uses the drain ability at the same time, it can get him pretty close to death, so you just have to kind of keep an eye on him. The goal in this was not to let anybody go beneath half health. That's pretty standard.
So as X will tell you about in his other video during the secondary healing, once the second caretaker down is when we're going to run around the room, staying to the outside for the most part. With that fight, I still am mostly spamming the Vector Amplitude as my primary heal, reserving the Vector Spray. CBT is up.
10 seconds.
10 seconds, executioner.
Once I know the last CBT is I'll actually, once the last CPT is down, I will actually run down here to the group and be part of the group to help with the movement as quickly as possible. The reason why you stay together as a group is wherever there's a party member at, gas will drop at the feet. If you stay together as a group, you can run around and the gas will despawn before the group gets back to the other side if you have the proper speed. However, if you're
On it. Protector up in 3 seconds.
About to go.
if you spread out, the gas will be around the floor and everybody will be running to the gas, taking a lot of damage.
Alright, down one everybody. We're good to go.
Good job.
Okay, now we start moving.
So now we just start doing that counterclockwise motion around the room to avoid the green gas. And the boss will become a little bit tougher here. He'll be hitting a lot harder and more frequently once all their caretaker protectors are down. We just want to make sure we stay out of that gas because it's really detrimental to your health if you do that. It hits really hard. So this one's a little bit difficult just because you're kind of running around in circles trying to watch out for the gas at the same time as healing everybody. At this point, I wouldn't even suggest attacking for a basic medic. Just worry about healing.
Slow down a bit, guys. You're running into the gas.
He's almost down. It's going pretty quick. The mechanics in this one are the most difficult part. of this portion of the instance. Just knowing what to do, when to do it.
I just thought Firebase had Taco Bell today.
And down he goes.
It was probably Sleek, man. He's been dropping that gas all night.
Okay, so for this part right here, these ads can actually hit really, really hard. So you want to stay back, let them take the damage first, and then jump into it. If you pop a Bacter Spray, odds are you're going to pull all the aggro instantaneously, and they might one-shot you pretty quickly.
Yeah, like I just said, these guys hit really hard. I've seen plenty of Jedi run here, aggro everything, and just get one-hit KO'd by all 4 of them at the same time. It's pretty hilarious. You just gotta watch out for whoever's tanking at this point. They don't seem like they do a lot, but they together, if they're all hitting the same person, it's they can get beat down pretty quick. Doesn't look like anybody's taking too much damage here. The 2 medics is running just fine.
You guys, if we can get a break right before we start this fight, so I can explain what to do as primary real quick.
I'll be explaining my portion after Dai gets done explaining his coming up.
Cool.
Before you begin, Sleek, would it be easier if, like, 2 of us go in another room and do a mock-up?
No, I can explain it while in the fight.
This boss is known as the most difficult boss in this instance for healing. I'll go into detail of why as soon as he gets done here in a minute. At least add on to what he's saying.
So for this fight, he actually puts a debuff on will cause a player to go on fire. When you're on fire, it drops fire also at your feet. So if you run next to someone else, you're going to catch them on fire. And fire is not good, despite what Firebase may say. With that being said, what you want to do is you actually want to go in here to controls under options. And where it says player runs by default, click that off. And what that'll do is it'll cause you to walk. We do that because as you're taking and walking, it spreads the fire very, very slowly. But also as you're walking, it takes and makes it so you don't take as much damage from the fire, opposed to just standing in the fire. For the main medic, we're actually going to go into the room where the clenched fist of hate is once the main tank goes in there. As you're looking right now, it's actually kind of hard to go into it from the side. So you want to just kind of walk in right from the actual middle here when you go in. The rest of the group will be back here, and what they're actually going to do is they're going to be trying to DPS, and once they catch on fire, they're going to slowly walk across the bridge directly in front of me. As a primary healer, you can heal them to help out the secondary heals somewhat, especially if you have healers that may not necessarily be keeping track of everything, or they get debuffed themselves. But you mainly want to focus on keeping that tank up. If you don't keep the tank up, then things just go south really quickly. All right, I'm done with that.
Did you want to mention the other debuff?
Okay, so now it's my turn to explain what I'm doing here as a secondary medic. My role is completely different than his. He's going to be in the room, I'm going to be outside the room. I'm going to be supporting the tank while simultaneously doing other things. Now, what he's talking about doing is doing the run by default stuff. I never do that because it just messes you up if you're not used to it. I've done it before and I've got killed doing it because it's just not something I'm used to, and I went back to my old ways just instinctively and totally wiped the group, and that's not fun. So if you're not used to it, I would not recommend doing that, but that's just me. What I'm going to be worried about doing is I'm going to be healing the group as well as the main tank, but also purging off the debuffs that he gives off, which is the Rheumatic Calamity. It looks like that one right there. That's what the debuff's going to look like when it gets on people. You're going to see it on the left side of their icon, or their little character bar there. Group thing is, yeah, just like that. And unfortunately, you can't purge fire off that he's going to give, that I was talking about, but the Rheumatic Calamity debuff, what it does is, for every action that they use, hurts their health bar. So the more action they use, the more they hurt themselves. So they end up just, in effect, killing themselves. And what we have to do is, sometimes people are good at watching it, sometimes people aren't, so we just have to purge it off as quick as possible. It's not necessary. If you're just worried about healing the first time, focus on the main tank only to help out. But once you get better, you'll get used to purging off everybody at the same time, going back and forth like that. Watch your own health bar. That's what I can tell you from experience. You'll be focusing on everybody else, but remember, you can get the debuff also, and healing takes up a lot of action, so you can end up killing yourself on accident too, and that's not good. Besides that, I really just hang out in this area here. I spam the AoEs so I can get kind of everybody in effect. It's on them to make sure they don't die. They understand that at this point, if they die, it's okay, they're expendable, but if the tank dies, this guy will just systematically go through and kill every single person in the group. So that's not good. So we just need to keep this guy under control and in that other room. Just watch out if you're on fire as well. Try not to run to the other group members.
Yeah, I'm ready as well.
Did you talk about serotonin purge on that other debuff? Oh, cool. Oh, I already asked that. Fuck. Sorry. Okay, let's go.
We need to do this one night with an all wolf tags.
All right, let him get a good stack here.
You always want to make sure you have that backed infusion on the tank.
Just to be proactive, I like to keep on moving around in here, and that prevents. I got the debuff. So you see, that's the fire right there. What he was talking about.
All right, start attacking. Kagan's fire.
Keep purging off those debuffs off people. Make sure they don't kill themselves.
Sometimes help as mid headache. I'll cycle out my Bacter bomb with an actual Bacter spray, and that'll help heal the group if they're near me.
Okay, you see there, I just caught on fire, but I ended up just stasing myself. I would highly recommend doing that.
Kagan's still fire.
For the most part, I'm just spamming back to amplitude this entire time. However, when he takes a major hit is when I'll use the Bacter bomb. If you have a Jedi, you can alternate Bacter bombs with the group on the fire again.
Yeah, so like the first time you catch on fire, I would recommend stasising yourself because it's really quick. Things can get out of hand real fast if you're trying to target yourself and heal other people, and then all of a sudden the tank will go down without you noticing.
And direct fire.
So instead of worrying about yourself for the moment, as soon as you see yourself catch on fire, just stasis yourself with the it's on my bottom right on my toolbar right there, self-stasis.
Scanner fire.
Right now I'm just checking on the tank every so often, making sure everybody's debuffs are purged off so they can keep assisting with the damage output.
And direct fire still.
And the reason you want to purge off that debuff is because you want the most amount of damage to be going on this boss constantly, because he has a huge health pool, and the longer this fight drags on, the more likely it is somebody's going to either kill themselves on accident or catch on fire or run in the room on accident, or endless things could happen to go wrong. Which is important here is making sure debuffs are purged off and everybody's healed up. Like you see, I don't even attack in this whole thing, I think.
So tourist still fire.
I'm just worried about healing. And he's about to go down right now too, so this portion went pretty smoothly. This is normally the hardest part of the instance.
Scanner fire.
So you take the left side, I'll take the rest of it. Alright, we're good.
Oh, Gratz big ol'. Man, that's twice in a row we've gotten an excavation chest, 2 nights in a row.
So this fight can be kind of intriguing for a medic, just because there's a lot of damage being spread pretty equally across the group to certain members. So there's basically 3 tanks here starting off. Actually, excuse me, 4. So the first 2 tanks are going to be for the, what's that called? The Embraced Chaos, as well as this Lingering here. And they're actually being tanked by 2 melee characters. If you look where Androck and where Scanner are, they will be the 2 melee tanks for that. For them, what's happened is they're going to actually hit the guys respectively, and then they occasionally swap out. They don't actually have to move, because every so often the mobs will just change target and go to the other person. Next up is the Promised Vengeance. This is the one you have to really pay attention to at the very beginning, because they seem to take quite a bit of damage if things are not going correctly. The really scary one here is what they use weapon switching for, and that's the unquenchable wrath of Exar, which Rosa is doing currently. With that being said, there's going to be debuff come up on that character, or sorry, on the boss there, telling you which damage you need to actually hit. If you're not using that correct damage, it will actually cause that individual to take quite a bit of extra damage, which will probably one-shot the individual no matter how much hit points or defense they have. With that being said, while he is up, the other mobs also take the same damage vulnerability as that he currently has. Okay, guys, I am done.
You may want to point out. That when if the weapon switcher should go down, the medics should stasis unquenchable and get the and then probably themselves, and then get the weapon switcher back up immediately.
Yep, what Fishy just said there.
Okay, so as far as the game mechanics go, this is probably the toughest portion of any instance, but we're not going to really worry about the actual mechanics of this right now since we're just doing the medic healing. What our job is going to be to do is just to make sure we supply a secondary healing up. So we're going to make sure that Rosa, who's going to be doing the weapon switching, is all healed up. Also, our job as the secondary medic is going to be with Promised Vengeance, and we're going to make sure that Rigger or Kagan, whoever ends up tanking him, they're healed up too. What we don't want to have happen is somebody pull 2-on-1. That's a disaster. And if the weapon switcher, if they end up messing up, we have to stasis the unquenchable wrath as soon as possible. Because if not, they'll do a blow that's 40k damage unmitigated, and that'll kill anybody because nobody has that large of a health pool. I already know what's going to happen, so you'll see in a few minutes it's going to take effect just like that. So just watch the way it plays out and how a medic's supposed to go about trying to save the group. Besides that, after this boss, there's going to be another boss that comes out. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to run to the staircase over there once we're done. And because it's going to start shooting green stuff from the ceiling again. And to avoid that, it won't hit you if you're on the staircase because you're like out of the range from the ground, I guess. So yeah, we're going to be over there. Pan up to the ceiling here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's going to launch from there just like the first room was. So after these 4 go down, that next boss is going to do that. Then after him, it's just the sword and Exar himself, and they're pushovers. Just tank and spank all day. Alright, so trial run.
Alright, is there anyone that is not ready? All right, we're going to count it down from 3. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, here we go. So we're going to be on Promised Vengeance right now, and we're going to be healing whoever's tanking.
The initial part is when you usually take the most amount of damage for the group. So you got to be really cautious at that point in time. I kind of like to stay in the middle so I can hit more than one character with the AoE spray when needed. So sometimes you got to be careful because these two mobs that are running back and forth might bug out and actually hit you.
Right now everything's going smoothly so far. Make sure everybody's healed up. Okay.
Oh shit, I'm down.
The weapon switcher went down, so we went and we stasis right there. We stasis Unquenchable Wrath so he doesn't target anybody else.
Okay, you should be up.
Looks like I used my res on him that time. Try to get him back up, do the basic buffs just to get him back into the swing of things. Keep everybody else healed in the meantime. Went a little quick there, but it's okay.
Yeah, I used. Oh no, mine didn't go off. I think you got it first.
And he went down again.
That shouldn't have happened.
My res is down.
Okay, this time I think Dai's gonna use his. I'm gonna try to hold aggro in the meantime. This is just the kind of thing that happens. You just gotta be careful.
Damn it. I blame the new UI. And the friggin' switched toolbars. It's throwing me off, man.
You're down
No,
again.
there's no fucking way. No, there's no fucking way.
Kagan's down. It's probably a wipe.
And down I go.
Oh my god.
Down.
Yeah, you can see the one-hit KOs there. Talk to you about that in just a second.
So that's an example of what happens when weapon switch does not quite work so well.
I gotta log out and switch my UI back to.
Yeah, I gotta do the same thing. Sorry, guys, that was awful.
Okay, so that happens sometimes. I mean, either hung up in your internet connection or just plain screwing up. I've done it before on weapon switch. It happens. It's no big deal. I'm just gonna get back in there and do it again. But that's what happens when you get hit by 40k damage, unmitigated. You saw him. He just dropped instantly. There was no change in the health pool. There's nothing the medics can do about that except for stasis and res. That was the main objective right there. And we did it pretty good twice there. We just ran out of stasis. I blamed the new UI HUD.
I'm getting mine up.
Yeah, ILM just came out with their release today, and so they're running the new HUD, and that's why they messed up there a little bit. It's backwards on the UI, so what we're pressing isn't exactly what it used to be. We'll just blame them this time. No big deal. I've never seen us fail before, so we'll get back in it in a minute.
I don't know if I like this spy thing. I don't have no action.
It's because Axe fell asleep and wasn't giving us any.
I only have 2 attacks when I'm going melee. But I need to get aggro on the melee guys. I can't use my pistol, can I? I'm not going to be doing any damage. I'm not going to keep aggro on them with being healed.
Are you sure about that? Because usually it's only the elemental damage that goes through.
Well, I know, well, we do have an elemental damage as an officer. We got this one thing that they throw down that causes a burning effect.
Like, I watched my Mando, and the Mando, only the elemental damage actually gets through on lingering and embraced. Everything else comes up 0.
Well, I don't feel bad being the only one that have wiped the entire group before.
That was. Let's just say I did that on purpose to show what happens when a weapon switcher goes down.
No, you just spliced the 2 together.
It's okay. I have to do some video editing anyways.
Yeah.
I was being dumb, and I logged in with all my log information with the video still running. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can use Windows Media.
Yeah.
Or Windows
Player.
Video.
Editor.
Editor to cut that out.
Or you can go
Whatever the
to
meaning of
everybody's house with a magic marker who's watching it. This is so much better. It's like
Yeah, I agree.
It's like being home again.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave the UI as it is. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we had groups of 4 buttons and stuff. Or I guess 8 buttons if you have the expanded toolbar.
Oh, I know. I dropped 2. I hit the wrong button and deactivated my weapon altogether. I have a macro that switches my weapons, and if you hit it twice, it unequips a weapon.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
Just not other gear. You just press it once.
I don't know which portion of the video it was, but I was at one point I was making fun of Doc. I was telling him he's going to be YouTube famous because he failed weapon switching. I think Kagan replied he failed it like not once, twice, but 3 times. It's all good though. It happens. We're just poking fun at him. Yeah, it totally happens, and that's no big deal. With the pug group, it's frustrating because you don't know the abilities, but with these guys, I know they have this instance on point. It's just sometimes things happen.
Whenever you're ready, Doc.
Yeah, I'd like to say that was for instructional purposes, but no, that was the
It's obviously a UI issue.
Yeah.
one of the times I definitely had the right element, and I don't know what happened. It was yeah, some weird shit. But no,
2,500 for both. Critical 12% and full con. Thanks, sir. Sleek, you gonna group buff us?
all right, who's next?
Give me full armor's action cost reduction, luck, and strength.
Wait, do you just want kinetic?
Yeah, just give me kinetic.
All right, action cost reduction, and then you said luck and strength.
Luck and strength. Yep.
Yeah, it's a decent time to rebuff, so I'll just go ahead and do that for him. Half the people are here at least. I think pretty soon, Dai's gonna start talking about what his entertainer buff is for medic. Right after he does that, I'll tell you what mine is.
I went with that buff because I've got a lot of crit as it is, just with my exotics and what's in my weapon. And about the Razor Cat band, its main stat in it is luck. So apparently it works.
You could actually see what I'm getting right there too. So that's my entertainer buff that I usually get. The armors changes depending upon what I'm doing, but since we're only doing EK, I'm just gonna stick with that. I use that with great success.
When you guys are done buffing, I'm going to start recording again so that I can talk about what I'm actually buffing with.
Con, precision, luck, and then crit.
Oops. What am I doing? There we go. Head to the Aurelian contact instead.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna set my cloner to Wolf City now. Gonna move the entertainer over there. All kinds of punks showing up now.
I'll have the travel, whatchamacallit, set up over there once we get done with this.
All right, you guys, I'm going to start recording again. And I'm going to explain a little bit about my buff setup too. For buffs, entertainers generally give you quite a bunch of different buffs. Every medic has their own flavor. My personal flavor that I use for pretty much everything is 9% ACR, 150 con, and 10% strength. The only time that I don't use this is when I'm either DPSing, which is very rare, or when I'm doing PvP. whenever I'm doing the PvP city invasions, I will take and go for full energy buff instead of con. And when I'm not doing that, when I'm doing standard PvP, I kind of split them. But I still haven't quite worked out my full buff for player versus player. The reason why that I go with full con instead of kinetic or energy in heroics that some of the other enchanters might is because con also gives you extra action as well as hit points in it. The extra action is phenomenal for when you're trying to heal. That being said, the hit points, there will be times when kinetic and also energy have played no factor. For example, in that last fight that we did with the open hand of hate, the fire damage is not reduced by the kinetic and or energy. A lot of people wait for the 5 hours and 31 minutes to actually take and go. You don't need that much. You need about 2, maybe 3 hours. You have a good group through all the heroics.
Okay, so I don't really agree with his entertainer buff, but he has a different spec than I do, so to each his own. I go with the armors of what I'm doing, always the healing potency if I'm healing as a medic, and then I usually get ACR. Just because you really can't go wrong with ACR. Even when there's a general aspect officer in the group, I still get it just because it helps out.
And guys, I'm done the voiceover.
Most likely get it also because if you ever get separated from the officer or they die for some reason, you lose all their awesome perks, and so instantly it becomes exponentially harder. So with ACR, at least it helps me stabilize what I'm doing in case any of that happens.
You know, I've never looted a Walter Emmer's Lost Journal before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, page 7.
We got 2 minutes to get inside.
Yeah, everyone should head on in now if you're not already in.
I'll be there in a second.
Oh, and in case you're wondering, I have an open spot in the top left-hand corner there. What I
Want me to back up again?
what I actually use that for is for heal stems. So if I have heal stems, I put them there for quick access. My regular heals are there as well, but that's the standard position all of my characters, so that's one thing I don't switch out. So whether I'm a DPS class or meta class or whatever I'm currently running, that space is always for heal stems. Tonight I didn't get any because with 2 medics in this, and I didn't really feel it's necessary. Sometimes I grab them, sometimes I don't.
Sweet.
See if he makes it in. Yep.
The reason I was saying that we only had a minute to get in there was because the server reset. Sometimes it bugs out, sometimes it doesn't. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Fishy, you look like you're stuck.
No, this fucking Wookiee. I'm sorry. Oh, all these people started coming over and wanting buffs, which is fine, and this Wookiee is just standing here and he won't tell me what he wants, so he's just gonna have to sit there and wait.
1 second, Doc. So there's one more important thing about being medic is whenever you say fishy, you gotta do this.
This
It goes
video,
for any of his characters.
yeah. What happens when I screw up the weapon swapping again?
Well, I'll put it this way. I haven't staged you the entire video until now, and we die on the weapon switch. So I'm just saying.
If I miss the swap again, then you got no stasis to save.
Now, by the time you're ready and we're all buffed up, we'll be good.
Okay, time to rebuff of the group.
I blame the Jedi tag personally, though.
Always want to make sure you do that before it gets started so you can switch your sets out.
I do too. Either be a Jedi or don't be a Jedi.
Do or do not.
You see that, right? He has Jedi tag, but no wolf on them.
Just like that.
It's all Scanter's fault.
Yep.
I think it's JB's fault.
No. JB can't be blamed anymore. JB never ran around with a Jedi tag.
True.
Do everybody
Yeah, I might
here?
have to do that. I might have to try to censor the Jedi tag off of Scanter in the video. I'm pretty sure I can edit it and just put like a text block that says noob in front of it, or Jedi noob at the end.
Hey, 1 second. 1 second.
Alright, let's see if we can get this done for real this time. Looks like they changed their UI, so it shouldn't... everything should be fine now.
Oh, damn. He's in a guild called Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yep. This tune will never, ever run with us again. That's all there is to it.
The name
All
of the
right.
railroad is Jettle.
All right, Die and Slick. What y'all need to do is post this image over Scanners in the entire video.
It's friggin' Barney, and that is perfect. Perfect. It's about the damn same.
All right, ready when you are.
Buddy, not ready.
Ready.
All right, we're gonna count it down from 3, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
If he does go down, I'll let you grab the first stasis, and I will take the first res. Oh, hold on, I got aggro. Can you keep him healed?
We got it back.
Got a little funky there, but it's okay now.
So that was actually a new mistake by me, because what I did is I used my AoE heal early on, and that's enough to pull the threat from those melee characters. Someone has an open mic.
Okay, looks like he's about to go down. Perfect. We're going to focus on Unquenchable Wrath now and help him assist doing that.
My bomb's down. Actually, my bomb's not up, down. So once you get the first responder set, it's really nice because you have things like that happen. We use your medical skills, but they're instantly reset on timer. And while I permanently use bomb as the, last dish heal, if you will, it's still always nice to have it up and running.
Now, this right here is how it normally goes. We never have any issues with this. I blame the UI completely for what happened there. I think Wrath is about to go down here in a minute. Yeah, he's getting close. So as soon as he's done, we'll just help focus on the ping pongers. Make sure you equip your melee weapon for them because your ranged ones won't work.
First group goes. The Unquenchable, which is when the weapon switcher is joined, is going to be the second one that we take down. We take down the other one first. Followed by...
I'm just gonna sit here and peck
You get a
on
lot
him.
more on.
I'm just gonna sit here and peck on him while y'all get him down. Let me know when you get him close.
For these two, they only take damage on AoEs as well as melee. So if you have range weapons like I currently do, they will not take a damage. But to help out, you can drop your nerve gas, and I think even the neurotoxin might work as well.
All right, they're balancing out now. You drop your gas here too. It works on them.
Sorry about interrupting you there. I'd never seen such a discrepancy between the two of them.
Oh,
I
good.
told you I put out a lot of damage on this tune.
All right, they're about even again.
Bomb's down. Bomb's not down.
Yeah, these guys don't really hit too hard. It's just you just gotta bring them down together, or else one of them gets a nasty buff. Sometimes, I mean, they don't hit too hard, but sometimes the tank's a little bit squishy too, because these guys aren't main tanks. They're just kind of there because we need a melee class to do this, so it happens.
As you probably noticed, Leek and I have been talking quite a bit, and it's really important for the medics to be able to communicate, as well as sometimes the tanks too, and all. With that being said, you have to practice comm discipline in here, especially if you're not one of those characters. What you don't want to be is someone jamming up the comms.
All right, we're over here on the stairs now, so we're good.
For this is the phase 2 of the fight. Once his other mobs are down, everyone pretty much runs up top here, and we do that because the green dots will not affect you up here on the stairs as they do down there, where Rosa and Rigor Morris currently are.
Gotta make sure we stay in range of them so we can hit them with our AoE heals.
And those two will just keep moving around.
The green stuff from the ceiling is starting to come down to him. Let me see if I can catch it on Kit.
The third phase of this is after we kill him here, is he actually reses back up and he has a sword. You have to fight both him and the sword separately. We generally knock out the sword first, and then we will go after him. For this part, we go ahead and just jump down here to the ground in phase 3.
Alright, so everybody is on the sword, and the rest are on, or one person's on Exar in the tank. Just like this.
You see there, Fishy just posted Master Leader. We do that because sometimes it bugs out at the very end if someone leaves group, and then you lose out on whatever loot there is.
Alright, it's going down. AoE heal a little bit too if you need to.
Also, there are certain items like the Jedi whatever weapon that will probably go to Scanter since he's the only Jedi noob in here. But they're the ones that can actually use it.
I said we take a group picture after we get done.
And he's going down. Easiest boss.
Without Scanter.
Oh,
We can just put him off to the side a little ways.
No, we can just put Barney in front of him. Superimpose it.
All right, I protest this video. Can't use it. He ain't got my signature on no release.
Not your signature.
It's not really your likeness, so you have no legal standpoint.
And if you look like that in real life, you gotta go see somebody.
And done.
all right, we got a melee action 246. Numbers are now Sasura 2, Kagan 3, Scanner 4, Trace 5, Rigor 6, Indirect 7, Diarrhea is now 8. Rolling.
You'll notice that's a reoccurring theme in these instances where the last boss
Kagan.
is the easiest boss of the instance.
What is it?
Melee 246 action.
I don't want it.
It's a decent action one.
But it's melee.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
So am I re-rolling?
Yeah, reroll it.
Alright, so for the audio portion, thank you guys for watching, and the rest might be a music clip depending upon how I feel.
Looks like you get it. Yep, looks like you
Just
get
throw
it.
just throw it in the guild stack.
Yeah, just keep the axe.
What's over here on the Masari Enforcer Blade? Just credit.
Yeah, 1 sec.
All right. Scanter, you should come stand over here.
Oh, hell no.
Right
Y'all don't
here.
want me in your picture.
No. We want you right here, so it's kind of, you're not part of the group, but you're still there. You can be creeping.
What's the group dance? Does it just start dance basic?
Hey, does anyone else have droids? We can just put all the droids over here, and then we can put Scanter over here with the droids.
We failed.
It doesn't do anything. Start /start space dance space basic, right?
Yep. Start and dance are one word.
Okay. Come on, Firebase, get your ass dancing. She's like marching. There you go.
Why is Rigger not up here?
Always being a little crybaby. Get up here, Rigger. Well, who's taking the picture?
Everybody turn your backs towards the Jedi.
This used to be our tradition on Starsider. Red X.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. It's a dance all the time.
You guys
Plead
good?
the fifth.
I've taken a couple. Yeah. Do another flourish though.
Do you take one with UI hidden?
Yep.
This is fucking awesome.
We used to do this back on Blood. We used to do this back on Bloodfin too, and there's a video with Big All and I and a bunch of people doing this on a gunship and stuff, doing it in heroics.
Yeah, we should, what you should do is record, just take all the audio out and put Thriller on there.
All right, I got a bunch.
So my plans for the part where we had issues earlier is to take the audio out for there and let the bodies hit the floor there.
Oh, we just got.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Slake. Thanks, Tyrell.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you all very much.